Okay. See, we need like music to bring it in. The AC/DC was playing earlier, but we kind of dropped that. Okay.
Tell us about your family.
All right. Are we live? Okay. So, welcome everybody to step 1 of the 8 steps to start and grow your business. I've got to do some introductory comments here for a minute. I appreciate all of your patience. Some of these faces are very recognizable, some are not. Welcome. This is exciting. I hope you guys find this really helpful. We're only going to be here for an hour and a half, so if it's miserable, you can grit your teeth and get through it, but I don't think it will be. We have a live audience. We're broadcasting from Main Street, America, here in Rexburg, Idaho. Okay, that's a woo. Yeah, no, I'm just joking. I told him I wouldn't make him say anything funny. So, but no, this is Main Street, America, which I love. I hate Wall Street. I don't want to do this in New York City. I want to do it in Main Street, whether you're in Ohio or wherever. I've got clients that 3 hours ago called me and said, Mark, we're watching this in Kaneohe, Hawaii. So we got people in little towns all over the country watching. And but my local group, I'm excited to be here. This behind me is a sign from the Family Crisis Center, which my Aunt Margie, I even talked her into coming tonight. She's like, really? No, she's here. She is the director here at the Crisis Center. And I thought it was kind of poignant. I don't want to get choked up, but there's so many people in America that do have financial crises. And they're like, man, I'm just trying to make ends meet. I got money to invest. I don't know what to do, or I have no money at all. I'm young, I'm old. I own a business, I don't own a business. And it's tough making ends meet. And so this little workbook that I've been creating for over a year, finally came together in the last month. And it's really been a project in the back of my mind for several years to bring together, because so many people come to our office and say, I'm trying to start a small business, I'm trying to make extra money, but I don't know where to start, I don't know what to do. And so these 8 steps, and I'm going to introduce them tonight, and we're going to go through step 1, it's a workbook that's very interactive. You can fill it out, you can scan a QR code, watch a video, listen to a podcast, you fill it out, you go to the next step. It may take you months to work through this. Starting a business doesn't happen overnight. And you start watching it and going through the workbooks and the videos. There's 48 videos, over 12 podcasts and webinars. And then at the end of the interactive version, which many of you can get online and watch, some of you are already doing it online, at the end of filling this out, it spits out your business plan, your marketing plan, your strategic plan. So for those of you that already own a business, you're going to walk away with a strat plan to hopefully make your business better. I got a father-son here I love, and I asked him if I could highlight his business. He's a physical therapist with employees and a small business. And I've got a tire shop owner over here, boom, with employees, and all sorts of businesses here. And you're like, hey, how can I make my business better? How can I market it better? And then some of you that are just starting out with, I don't even know what business I want to start. So this business plan spits out in words so you can modify it, make it better, take it to the bank, get an SBA loan, take it to investors and partners, or you're just going to walk away with your marketing plan and strat plan. We're going to talk about these in a big way. But those are already available in Word. And all of you here should have online access either by the end of tonight, if you don't already. And then you can download these and use them in Word. So I'm not selling them, they're yours. And your business plan, strat plan, and marketing plan will be a byproduct of going through this. There's nothing like this in the country. Isn't this exciting? Okay, all right, jeez, man, you're a tough crowd here tonight. Oh, thank you, Noah. Okay, anyway, all right, sorry. See, you know, Dave Ramsey has a crowd that's prepped and ready to go. It's Mark Kohler, you know. So you guys are good. So you guys that are local, just relax. I know whenever there's a camera on, everybody's a little more tentative and lights, whatever. So I'm kind of used to it, so it's just me, you know. It's YouTube, whatever. So, okay, now, for those that are online, you can talk in the chat line if you're watching live and ask a question. Devin Munns, our resident tax lawyer who helps business owners, he's been on 7 calls around the country all day helping small business owners. I said, you got to come tonight. So he's recruited here. He's got a mic. So if any of you ask a question here, and use it. I mean, I say this humbly, and there's clients that are like, Mark, you're worth every penny, but For small business, I charge $500 an hour. I know that sounds like a lot, but company, you get an hour of time. It's so affordable, but so I have big business owners that need me, and I'm like, really? So so there's a cost to it. So anyway, but you guys have me free here tonight. I want you to ask questions online. I'm here. I'm part of this 8 steps. We're going to be doing these 8 steps from now until Christmas. So this isn't every Tuesday. It's just spread out over time. And so you guys can come back with questions. I'm hoping all of you will be here. We even have more standing room in the back at our next one because I'm here for you. So this is going to hopefully help you, a lot of you get your business going. So back to the Crisis Center. I just think this is so poignant because there's so many people that are in crisis, and no matter what level of income you're at, you're trying to make ends meet and make it happen. So I'm hoping this is going to be a big resource. Now, for those that are here locally, you may have never walked through those front doors into the Crisis Center because you don't feel like you're in crisis. Well, there's people that do need you. There's a board over there that says what we need, whether it's toilet paper or diapers or whatever. Maybe it's on the sidewall around the corner. Look at that list, and if you get inspired, drop something off, drop some clothes off. Goodwill or Deseret Industries doesn't need everything you have. There's a thrift store downstairs, and they need stuff. So think of this place when you're driving by. They help so many people. It's amazing. I've thought it's been amazing having my law firm above. We're right upstairs on this 2-story Main Street building right above the Crisis Center because I'm up there working in my office, and I see people come in that need help. And so this is another way to help people everywhere. So, okay, any questions, comments? All right, we're rocking. This is a little bit intro. I recruited my wife to even say a few words tonight. I've got a list of things I want to cover. So this is casual. This isn't totally formal. Thanks for letting me share my desk here with you. I've got my Diet Mountain Dew, which is going to keep me going tonight. I've got good stuff. You need to bring your drinks next time. Okay. Let's dive into the workbook for a minute. I want you guys to get a feel for this. So tonight is concept design and plan development. Now, some of you may say, well, I already have a business. I don't need to do concept design. I don't need a business plan. I'm already in business. Could you create some other streams of income in your business? See, when you start another revenue stream in your business, that's like starting another business. It could be a product. It could be an online product. It could be something that you need to make more revenue. And so when you have a main business, every little project you do can be a business in and of itself. Think of Apple. You know, they got the iPad division. They got the phone division. They got the whatever division, right? They're like, I've got a friend that does patent work in Orange County, California, where is most of the IP. It's called intellectual property. They work for Microsoft, Apple, all these different companies. I think Microsoft on average is doing 20 to 30 patents a day of new products and concept designs. And they just keep these attorneys and these law firms. If you drive around Orange County, Jason, you've seen it. It's nuts, right? Jason's another attorney. And it's just, so you can come up with new ideas in your business. So don't think you're above section 1. You're not. So if you own a business, you can think of something, some new way to make money. All right, so step 1, I'm going to make some, so it seems a little touchy-feely, but it's not. So for those that are business owners, but if you're just coming up with some ideas, I know some of you are in the room that are like, where am I going to deploy my money? What am I going to do with it? What am I going to start my business with? So that's what we want to do. So number 1, what I want you to fill out, you don't have to do it now. For those that are home, and when you get home, you can just scan this little QR code with your phone and watch a video on what is your what. So I'm going to just hit the highlights of this and see what you think. So I'm going to pick on McKay for a minute. So just for a quick minute. And so any of you can raise your hand. So McKay, he looks pretty cool. He's a drummer, you know. And so we were hanging out and we were talking business. And I said, McKay, you got to come to this workshop. Because we were talking business and he's like, yeah, I've thought about starting a business, but I don't know what I want to do, blah, blah, blah. And I go, what do you love to do? He goes, I love to drum. I'm a drummer. Hence why he's got a little longer hair, which is, you know, to his dad's chagrin. But anyway, I tease him. But he's a drummer. So I'm like, dude, let's make money off of your drumming. He's like, dude, I just drum for fun. Well, why not start a business doing what you love. That's one of the first things I love to talk to clients about, and that's what I'm here. That's your first question in this entire workbook. What are you passionate about? Why not start a business doing something you love? Do you think it's going to be a little easier getting up in the morning if you're doing something you love? 50% of Americans now in the Department of Labor survey they do every year in Washington, it comes out in the spring, and they're looking at job satisfaction and employment percentages and unemployment. But one of the questions I love to ask is job satisfaction in America. It's now over 50% of people hate what they do. They go to work 40 to 50 hours of work a week doing work they hate. That's why I love small business. Start something you love to do and then make money at it. So anyway, so McKay is a drummer. So I'm like, let's talk about making money drumming. And he's like, what? And we came up with 5 ways to make money drumming. And so we're going to come back to that. But I want you to think, of what you're passionate about, what you love. And then let's do it. And then I put down here, what are you good at? Some of you, this is deep. You don't even know how deep this is when I get on the calls with clients around the country. Some may go, Mark, I'm good at sales, but I suck at, business, And other people that are, maybe, don't be offended, engineer types that are really good at all the little things and making things and all that, but they hate to talk to people. Can you already envision what I'm talking about? People that are good with people and people that are good with making it happen. Maybe your business should be to partner with someone. Do you think every musician out there is a good business owner? Usually they're not. Artists, musician owners, musicians, they're not. They need a business manager, right? So sometimes starting a business means partnering with someone. That's what I want you to think about. You don't have to do it all. Find someone that's really good at what you're not good at and partner. It's okay to partner. Some people say, oh, partnerships are bad. I'm like, no, that's if you do it on a napkin at Denny's in the middle of the night. Let's document it. Let's make sure we understand expectations. Let's put it in writing. Some lawyers joke that all they do is set up partnerships and then tear them apart because they are mad at each other, And so if you do it wrong, they can be a disaster. If you do them right, they're amazing. So think about that. Any thoughts or comments on that? Questions, partnering? I've got my whiteboard, so we're going to diagram a few things if you want. But I just want to kind of get your juices flowing. Next page is, a lot of people say, well, Mark, a lot of people say businesses fail in the first 3 to 5 years. I'm like, no, they don't. It's just people give up in 3 to 5 years. See, I think business owners are not going to fail if they're flexible. So, for example, guys, do you really think about it for a minute? Because I want you to go into this without being afraid or scared. Is it, some people go, yeah, well, my business idea might fail. Well, not if you can modify it. Do you think your business is going to change a little bit? Jason, with your mechanic and tires and everything, is it a different business it was 5 years ago? Right? Does that mean he failed? No. You adapt. I love it. You adapt. You make modifications. So as a business owner, if you go into an idea and right off the bat you know that it might look different 3 years from now, that doesn't mean you failed. It just means you're better at what you're doing. You want to find the money. Get out there and work it. Work the angles, work the marketing, work the product, work the development, services. In here, for those that are literally starting from scratch, I put, what are some business ideas you could start? Just start brainstorming. Think about what you might love to do and make some notes. For those that already own a business, I want you to think of additional revenue sources. What can I make money at? Now, maybe this is a good chance. I want to get your juices flowing. I'm going to talk about McKay's business for a minute. Now, I should look for some interaction here. Maybe I should. I got to get you guys flowing. I'm not just going to tell you. Let's work on McKay's business for a minute. I already got him, but I want you guys to think about it. How could he make money as a drummer? What do you got? Teaching. Okay, I love it. Now, teaching classes, I'm going to say locally. So he's teaching locally. Okay, that's cool. Now, if you wanted to market that, is that pretty easy to market? I mean, what do we have down the street here? There's a music shop 2 blocks down. Do you think he could print up some business cards down at Alpha Graphics 3 blocks over and like start like putting on their drumming lessons? What do you think? What did someone pay for drumming lesson? 30 bucks an hour? 30 bucks a half hour? 20 bucks a half hour? I don't know, what's the going rate? What is guitar lessons? Anybody pay for guitar lessons lately? I don't know. Sydney, you paid for some lessons. What'd you pay? What did we pay? What's her name? It was like 30 a half hour? Right, so it was in California at $40 a half hour, so here that's 10 bucks a half hour, right? No, that's everywhere in the world, right? California, okay, so anyway, so he could do drumming lessons locally, 30 bucks an hour. Now you can work down at McDonald's. Are they paying 30 bucks an hour? No. Oh, I could go get give drumming lessons doing what I love for 3 times what I could make at McDonald's, right? Okay, option 1. Let's go 30 an hour. Okay, what else could he do? Come on. He could perform. That's the fun part, right? Perform. Get a band. So you got to have a band. So you got partners. That's okay. Get a. Ooh, I like that. Outsource your drumming to other bands in need. So you could have your own band, and then. Now, if you were in LA, that'd be sweet. You know, what do they call it? Studio musicians, right? You show up while they're recording because they don't want to tour with you. They just need you to record. So other bands could use you, okay? All right, what else? Come on, this is fun. I want you to be thinking about your own business too. What do we got? Ooh, okay. We didn't even talk about that, did we? Okay, so now you could be doing some like cool metronome, drumming, assisting, learning thing. Okay, so you could come up with products. Let's do products related to drumming. Okay, what else?
Teaching online.
Oh, I was waiting for that one. Teaching online. Huge business right now, right? Sorry for those on my microphone. They're like, sorry, being a dork. Okay, huge drumming online. You can do lessons online on Zoom. GoToMeeting, what else? I mean, we got all the different platforms for that. But I'm just going to say Zoom, probably the best right now. So you could teach online. Just some of you may think that's crazy. When we moved here from California, we loved our our guitar teacher so much. She's like, oh, I do lessons online because people don't want to commute in California 45 minutes for a lesson. She goes, I just get online, webcam, and we go over your strumming. Same price per hour, but we just do it with webcams. So you could do drumming lessons online. Okay, so you got your own band, other bands. Okay, what else? Oh, there's more. How much could he make more money?
Once he figures out how to have his own business, he can teach other musicians how to start their own business.
Oh, yeah. That's right up your alley, isn't it, too? So teach other musicians, not just drummers. You could be a musician business consultant. Ooh, there we go. Musician, okay, business consultant. Oh, this is good. I charge more per hour for that because you're teaching them how to make money. Okay, what else we got? Did we even get to mine? I don't even know if I've got all mine out here. Can't look at my sheet. Come on, Dan, you throw something down. Okay. Okay. All right, what else? What's big on YouTube right now? Think YouTube. More searches on YouTube daily than Google. Okay, what could he teach online? Teach one-on-one. What else could he do? Set up training videos. Then you're making money while you sleep, baby. We talked about this one. So I go, McKay, 10 lessons to rock like, oh, I was trying to think of the one-armed drummer for Def Leppard. You should know. You're going to Def Leppard Tuesday, aren't you?
I just know
Oh, yeah. Okay, so anyway, yeah, Def Leppard's coming to Salt Lake City. Everybody's making the trek down there next week. Okay, so he's going to do training videos. 99 bucks, 10 videos, watch them over and over again. Training videos. Okay, what else? Come on, guys. The fun thing about that is you could do your training videos with your GoPro, set up a camera in your little studio at home, shoot your 10 videos on how to drum. upsell products, upsell personal lessons if you want to learn more. Oh, man. Okay, what else? Come on, nothing? No one else? Anything? Got one?
I already said invent a new drumstick, but buy a huge amount of just regular wooden drumsticks and brand them, your own brand, and then have them attached to your videos. You know, sell them for
I love it.
$9.95 or whatever.
Branded products. Yes. Did we kind of talked, what did we talk about that was on that? Okay, I'm liking it. Branded products. So if you find the products you like, now this opens up, Jason, can I say the word Amazon affiliate? You could be sending people to your own website to buy their drumming products from your own Amazon affiliate page, and now you're getting a piece of everything they buy on Amazon. AWOL training, that's called AWOL training. Jen and I, we were looking at that the other night on Amazon. Jen's like, holy crap, I can sell that on Amazon. Okay, so I'm gonna even put that on here. Amazon resale of drumming products through your link that you give to your students. So when your students go to buy a new drumstick, you're like, no. I'll send you an email, go here. They buy it, you make 20% of everything they buy. You can guys go do that right now. Any of your products thinking online, so you could sell any of those products on your own online website through Amazon reselling. Just go to the bottom of the Amazon page and look at Amazon wholesaling, Amazon affiliate, and you can do that. Jen, my wife, I like it. She's in it. Influencers, yeah. Oh, the trade, it's AWOL. If you Google AWOL, Keali Keani, he's out of Vegas. He teaches classes on affiliate marketing through Amazon, just Amazon. Jason, you have a good referral? I mean, I know you kind of know that industry a little.
For Amazon, Amazing Selling Machine is one of the best ones out there.
It's called what?
It's amazing.com. They have a product called Amazing Selling Machine, which is all about selling on Amazon.
Okay, amazing.com. Boy, that probably cost her a grumble. Sydney just set up her website today. We were on GoDaddy today doing some searching. Okay, amazing.com. Okay, I got two more. I'm just going to throw them down. Now, some of you may think this is a waste of time on the video. It's not, because this is what is about business development. This is what keeps Mark Kohler up at night, as I lay in bed going, oh, I can make money doing that. And then Jen reaches over, would you quit thinking of new ways to make money and just do what you do right now and make money at that? Have we not had that conversation? Maybe this week. I love to brainstorm. And as a business owner, you've got to get this way. You've got to get creative. How can I make more money in physical therapy? How can I make more money as a photographer? What could I be doing with my photography business? Okay, so my photographer, come on, you can help me out on this one. What could he sell as a drummer when it comes to drumming, kind of similar to photography? You're thinking, now I know you could go to Adobe, stock Adobe. He can sell photography on stock Adobe. But drumming's a little different. So where would he go? I'll even ask Dylan, where could he go to sell drumming? Where could he go to sell drumming? Why would I want to buy a drumming riff? Where would I go to do that? It's called Music Bakery. What's another one? Music Bakery? Envato. So if I've got a website and I want a cool drumming riff on the front end of my podcast, I'm going to go to Music Bakery and look for drumming riffs, or even have him do one for me. So he could be selling pre-recorded drumming riffs for see, if you're like a guitarist and you need a drumming riff, you can go hire drummers on Upwork. So Upwork is another place that you can go. Fiverr, how many of you know Fiverr, right? Fun. You go to Fiverr, get anything for $5. So he can start doing, I'll give you your own drumming riff specific to you for $5. That's Fiverr. So he could go to Upwork or Fiverr. He could do individual ones or sell pre-recorded. That's Music Bakery. So they're two different things. See, on Music Bakery, you're pre-recording stuff that you buy, and then on Upwork, you're hiring a drummer, kind of like your band, in there. Okay, guys, isn't this amazing? I hope it is. It's inspiring to me that just in a group here, we can think of things I didn't even think of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 ways he can make money doing what he loves. And so this is what It chokes me up right off the bat when I think about it. Of sometimes it's battered women that come in here, right? They're coming in here in a crisis, looking for ways to get away from a crappy husband or relationship, and they don't even know where to make money, and they need help. And we're all in that all in that boat sometimes, where our business isn't doing as well as we hoped, or my job sucks. Where am I going to go as a future? We need steps to take us through this process, and one of them is brainstorming and figuring out what we're good at, what we love to do, and how can I make money at it legally, and have fun doing it. If I was McKay and I'm like, get up in the morning, I got 10 ways to make money, I don't even know where to start, right? I mean, how exciting is that? Like, he'd be hopping out of bed in the morning. All right, anyway.
I got 5 company names.
Oh, we got company names for his drumming?
No, Dyson, Airbnb, KFC, eHarmony, and Reddit.
Okay, what about those?
They all should have failed. They had business plans that they were horrible at. They lost millions of dollars, but they kept on doing it and they kept on modifying. So they all
Okay.
should have failed.
Thanks for trying to get her on the mic. For some of you who heard that from home. Yeah. I mean, even Dave Ramsey in his opening video for Financial Peace talks about Colonel Sanders, who didn't make $1 with fried chicken until he was over 70 years old. And he killed it. Okay, now, any thoughts or comments on this? We're going to move on, but I want to that's the brainstorming session. This could take weeks. It's okay. You don't start a business overnight. Okay, any thoughts, comments? Anyone from home, anything? Okay. Now, we're going to talk about this business plan concept. All right. Now, where's it at in the first one? The 3 plans. It's actually in the introduction. We skipped the introduction. If you go back to page 2, we talk about these 3 plans, and then in page 6, we really dive into it. Everybody thinks I got to have a business plan to start a business. And you know what? I kind of buy into that. I like that point. But a business plan is a one-time event. This might freak you out. Some people go, like, some of you that already have a business, like our photographer in the room, I might say, do you have a business plan? He's like, no, I'm already in business. And that's a really poignant concept. A business plan, and I make this point, is a one-time event, and I'll ask you, why is it a one-time event? Why do I do a business plan? You tell me. Why might be the reasons? You don't have to cheat and look down there. Why might I do a business plan? Anybody? Thoughts? Okay, like it, to get money. Sorry, Dylan, our light guy is going to kill himself falling over these things. Okay, our lights are a problem. Okay, number 1 reason to do a business plan is to get money. Who would I get money from? Any ideas? Investors, bankers, SBA, parents, friends, family. Okay, right? Bankers. I have in our 3rd section of section 2 of the book, I give you 9 ways to raise money to start your business. From $5 to $50,000 to $500,000. Devin was working on a deal helping a client raise $1 million this last week. He's got to have $1 million. Okay, how do I do it? It's doable. So we might do a business plan to raise money. That's cool. What's another reason? You were going to raise your hand.
Analyze the market.
I like it. To do a market analysis. To see, and I'm going to just leave it at this and lead into the next one. Analysis. To see if it's a good idea. Oh my gosh. People, do you know how many phone calls I have with clients around the country that are 2 years into a business that was a dumb idea to begin with, and they know it, but they know it now, and they wish they would have known it 2 years earlier, but they got so excited they just, and if they would have done a business plan, and I ask them, well, didn't you know this before? No. Did you do a business plan? No. My market, I didn't know. I just got excited, thought it was a great idea, and then 2 years later, they're like shooting themselves in the head going, if I just would have done a business plan, I would have known to change it, Doesn't mean you're a failure. You adapt. Or you say, ooh, I better do something else. So a business plan is a one-time event. It tells you if it's a good idea, I'm going to go raise capital, and then you put it in a frame, and you put it on your wall, and you go, oh, that was such a fun process. I did my business plan. And then it spits out 2 plans. It's going to spit out your strat plan, for short. It's called your strategic plan, and your marketing plan. And guys, this might blow your mind. I've been an entrepreneur my whole life, really, but really with what I'm doing now for 20 years. And right here, I carry around with me everywhere I go. My wife knows this. This is my marketing plan and strat plan. Right here with me everywhere I go. I make notes in it in church on Sunday. I make notes on it by the bed at night. This is by my bed at night. If I have an idea, how many of you have had an idea and you're like, oh my gosh, that's so good. You wake up in the morning, what was that idea? And it's gone, right? Carry your strat plan around with you everywhere you go. We have, in my 8 steps, there's an entire step, step 4, on building your strat plan and making your current business even better. I went to a 10-day retreat 8 years ago because Jen and I were so stressed out. My business, we were like, it controls me. Some of you are in a business right now where it's killing you. You're like, I don't want to be a business owner. It sucks. You know, I can't, ugh. And that's how I felt like 8, 9 years ago. And my business partner, I went to a business retreat. It was a 10-day retreat on how to be a CEO of your own business. And I was like skeptical. I'm like, 10 days? I was thinking of what my billing power was for 10 days and my time away from family. It was 10 days straight. Remember that, Jen, when I went? Yep. And it was life-changing. I came back like, oh my gosh. And I learned how to use a strat plan, how to make my business even better. Didn't it help our marriage, helped our family, helped our finances? You want to give a testimonial? She goes, it helped the business. Yeah, it was the marriage counseling retreat that did the marriage retreat part. Oh, yeah, yeah.
You and your partner got to be more on the same idea.
We did.
The same plan.
It was good. My partner and I both went. But here's my point. Thank you, hon. I'm going to have Jen make a comment here in a minute. She's going to have to come up front. My point is, the strat plan is what helps you implement your business plan. It's a 3, 6, 9-month, 10-year vision of where you want your plan. Where do you want, guys, when you get to this section of the book, it's going to blow your mind because I make you write down a 10-year vision of where you want to be 10 years from now. Where do you want your business? Where do you want your income? What's it look like? It took me 3 months to write down my 10-year vision. 3 months. I was like, I don't know what I want. I don't know. I'm just working hard. I just put my head down and I just work. And our 10-year plan that Jen and I worked on 3 years ago brought us to Rexburg, Idaho. We were in Southern California, killing ourselves, living month to month, this crazy thing. And we said, if we want to be there in 10 years, we can't keep doing this. And you know what? We need to be by family. We need to raise our next child in a better atmosphere. We got to get out of here. And our 10-year plan changed our entire business and personal and financial outlook. And it's been great. It's different. You know, some of you know here in Rexburg, you're like, sometimes it's nice to visit California, and sometimes it's nice to come home. But anyway, so I carry my business plan and my marketing plan, which is a 32-page marketing plan of everything I'm doing this year. I got stats and numbers and goals and budgets, and I carry it with me everywhere I go. You're going to learn with this 8-step program in one of your sections to build your marketing plan. And it's in Word format already if you want to start playing with it. Some of you might want to work through this workbook in 8 hours, 8 days, 8 months. I don't care. You work at your pace. So any questions on business plans, strat plans, how these two evolve from your business plan? Anything? Everybody's really quiet. Anything? I'm here for you. I've done this. Yeah, Keith. Oh, here, let's have Keith talk so people at home can hear your question. I know it sounds dorky, thanks.
you know, from where I'm coming from, you know, I've always worked for a company, blah, 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 but I've started trying to look at different ways to make money and to start my own thing. You know, in business owners like yourselves, how do you, you know, I've read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, all that kind of stuff, and there's some good concepts in there, but how do you, when you're starting a business, I don't want it to be a job. I don't want to have to be there, you know, 10, 15 hours a day. So how do you guys look at that? I mean,
Sure, sure. There might be another business owner.
I hope that's not a stupid
No,
question.
no, it's not. In fact, you may not like the answer. Being a business owner is wonderful because you get to choose how the 12 hours you work every day, you get to choose the schedule. That's the difference of being an entrepreneur. I think, I'll be honest, I think entrepreneurs work harder than the daily wage earners because it's yours. There's no glass ceiling. You can take it the way you want. And sometimes as an entrepreneur, it never ends. You feel like that. But it's a lifestyle, and you have to either love it or hate it. I don't know, Jason, it looked like you wanted to say something. I don't know if another entrepreneur wanted to say something in here on that. Jason, let's throw him the mic. I got a couple other thoughts, but you don't want to hear maybe all from me.
Well, and the reality of it is, if there was a business that you could buy or you could you know, kind of develop that allows you to work less, I certainly would like to know where that is. But I know I've got a good friend here who's also a business owner, and the reality of it is, you know, we spend 10, 12, 14 hours a day, and even when you're home and you're looking at your information online and you're gleaning that and you're kind of developing your budgets and whatnot, it's kind of a 24/7 kind of a thing. I'm sure Jody would say the same thing. So, but it's very rewarding because you're watching something that you've kind of handled from the beginning and watch it grow and develop and succeed. So, and if it doesn't succeed, you know, if you're having struggles, that's when you kind of dig deep and figure out a way to, you know, I gotta modify my plan. I gotta figure out a way to make this work. You know, and that's where the real returns come.
I like it. I have a couple other thoughts. It is a labor of love. A thought comes to mind. It's flexibility, not freedom. I've said that a lot. I think a business owner, it's not freedom, but flexibility. I love that flexibility. I can be where I need to be during the day with my family or on a weekend or a week or a day or a month, but it is a ball and chain in some ways. Okay, this is a good inlet for my wife to make a comment, and she doesn't know what I'm going to ask her yet. So I could get in big trouble tonight, but and she's got to come up front. You got to come up front. Everybody's got to see my beautiful wife. Now, okay, I'm going to introduce this as she's walking up. Oh, you got to have a mic. You got to have a mic so everybody can hear you at home. Okay, yeah, and I know you just want to sing. She's a singer, so you give her the mic, she can start singing. Okay, okay, so here's, and I think this goes into Keith's point that leads into why I wanted Jen to say something, is, okay, I'm going to take some leeway. Jen, parents were white collar, blue collar, kind of hard workers. They worked at a university.
They were teachers.
Teachers.
At Ricks College.
Yep, teachers. And they worked their 40 hours a week and a second job. Once a year, they'd have their 1 week vacation. Income was very steady. It was the same. It was regimented, da-da-da. Nothing changed, da-da-da. She goes to college. She meets me. You know, there's a guy with all these dreams. I'm going to be an entrepreneur. We're going to do this. I'm going to take over the world. And it was kind of, besides my looks, that was a little attractive, right? This new other life, maybe.
Actually, I didn't even know what the word entrepreneur meant when I went to college. I honestly didn't. I was like, I was asking Mark, well, what are you going into? Business. Well, what are you going into, like, after that? He goes, I want to be an entrepreneur. And I was like, what? I knew farmers around here that own, their family business. But I thought that was something that was, you know, passed from family to family, and they all worked together. And I just didn't know that many people who own their own business. And so.
Okay, so the stage is set.
Okay.
So then we get married. My product was law and accounting. That was my product. I don't see myself as a lawyer and as an accountant. Even my staff that's here, Nancy and everybody, I see myself as an entrepreneur that sells law and accounting because I love the product, but I love the entrepreneurship more, if that makes sense. You can see lawyers that are lawyers. They like being a lawyer. They're terrible business owners. Kind of doctors. Have you ever seen that with some doctors? I'm sure you see this joke. They're great doctors. Oh my gosh, but their business is a wreck. So anyway, I've loved the business of law as much as being a lawyer. I watched Law and Order. I watched, Boston Legal. That's what I watch on TV. Okay, so she marries me. I got all these crazy ideas, and it's like, where did that steadiness, 40 hours a week come from? It went out the window. It was like, we're making money, we're losing money. We're making money, we're losing money. And we're all over the place. And being married to an entrepreneur isn't easy.
It's very tough.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about now the rewards too. You got to mention the rewards. There was a cruise in there once in a while and a trip. But so I think on Keith's point, this is why I asked Jen to come tonight. Is we go through our 8 steps and we go through step 1, 2, 3, it is so important to understand the impact it has on your relationships. And I'm going to make some comments too. Tell me what you would recommend being married to an entrepreneur, being an entrepreneur, married to a non-entrepreneur. Any thoughts? What would you say? I don't know where you're going to go.
I'm not going to get mad at anything I say.
Oh, no.
Okay,
don't be
no.
mad. This is recorded.
After we left Rick's college, Mark attended the University of Utah, and we lived in Sugar House.
Go Utes.
And his big thing was he wanted to be a janitor because he cleaned his dad's office when he was in high school. So he was like, we're going to start a company as a janitorial company.
Which I think is a great service business. You make money.
Yeah, but
I didn't think you were going to bring this up. Keep going. So I was a janitor in my earlier life, yes.
Being a janitor was really hard.
Paid for college?
And he asked me, he's like, what do you know how to do really well? And I said, well, besides what I did in college, I cleaned hotel rooms.
Right. She was a hotel janitor.
Okay, you be
Okay,
quiet.
sorry. Okay.
I cleaned
Just
hotel
commentary.
rooms for a summer, for actually 2 summers. And so he said, okay, we're going to start a janitorial business, and you're going to be my #1 employee.
Okay,
So let me just say right now, being an entrepreneur is great. But I would say the first thing you need to do before you start a company is communicate with your spouse. And
Lesson learned.
And I think Mark loves to help entrepreneurs now because we learned the hard way. Like most of the time when he's trying to help somebody start a business, they already have a job that they're doing, but they just don't like it or they're going to get laid off. And you go from a steady income or a salary to something like this. Because you sometimes get paid, sometimes you don't get paid. Sometimes somebody's not happy with your work and they're not, it's pretty tough. So
now tell me the good parts.
I
Throw
am.
in a few.
I am.
Okay.
So first thing
that.
I think you need to do is you need to communicate with your spouse what your plans are, what you want to do, get their input, even if you disagree on some things. Sometimes coming together into a middle ground or where you compromise is really good.
Okay, now let me add something to that point because we've got people in here that aren't married. And I've got a daughter in college. She's starting a business. So even those that are single in here, and even McKay, just calling him out, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you got to communicate to your family. Tell people what your plans are. Because sometimes you can seem very irrational and crazy compared to your family that may have had a day job their whole life. And so if you come with this wild idea of, and you've maybe seen movies and stories of people that want to be an actor or an actress and their whole family has been very traditional, you might seem out of the box. So whoever your family is, talk about what your dreams and aspirations are so they understand where you're coming from in the process. Because you need your family support. It's really hard. Okay, you can go now.
Well, your spouse is pretty significant, but if you don't have a spouse, I'd say get a small board of directors, somebody who believes in what you're doing, somebody who thinks what you're doing is going to make money, or they can give you advice, or they can be a mentor. Did I take one of your things?
No, you played right into it. You're amazing. Have you read my book? I know you haven't.
I actually have read all your books. Anyway, and the other thing I would say is be understanding and supportive, because it is hard being an entrepreneur, except for, like last week, our daughter got married in California. He took 5 days off. He took 5 days off. He didn't have to ask anybody to take 5 days off. But he
And
took
we
5
paid for an
days off,
expensive
and
wedding.
yeah, and then he had to come home and work extra hard. But there are a lot of advantages to owning your own business, and especially there's no limit on how much you can make.
So.
You can make as much as you work for and plan for.
I love it.
Did I
Any
say it?
questions for Jen? Okay. All right, no more.
We'll talk
So-
about the janitorial
yeah, this
business
is-
later.
Yeah, you want to talk about being a janitor later. Okay, take the mic with you. Thank you. Jen, thank you. I appreciate, love you. Okay, locally, we can at least give her a quick clap. Thanks, Jen. Okay, all right, thank you. Show a little love. That's our studio audience at work. Thank you. Okay, now let's I know this first section seems touchy-feely, but it is. Now hang tight. Now I wanted to get into some competition. I've got some questions some people posed for tonight that are a little more in-depth. So finding your competition. Someone said you do a business plan to identify your market. And so I've got a couple pages in here. 7 and 8 is about discovering your competitors, their strengths, their weaknesses. As you start to think about your business, now this is important, hang with me. Even for those of you that already have a business, when you start to think of that new income stream, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's the greatest idea. And we were going through McKay's list, 10 things. And then all of a sudden you start to do your business plan, you find out, oh, some guy in town's doing 5 of those. Okay, that could change the equation, right? So even though your ideas could be great, you've got to take the time to analyze your market, analyze your competitors, find out what they're doing well, and what they're doing poorly, and what you could do better. What could be your strategic advantage? That's the bottom of 8. So even though your business is a great idea, and it doesn't mean you can't start a business that someone else is doing, just maybe you can do it better. And that's part of your business plan development. What was funny, I'm going to bring up another McKay. It's a friend. It's ironic, McKay. It's a friend of yours who's named McKay, and you know who I'm talking about here in a minute. He loves to mountain bike, right? You know the guy I'm talking about? He is a mountain biker. He's at a race today, in fact. And he was going to come tonight, but he had to go to a race. So he works at a bike shop, and he wants to work in the biking industry. So it's kind of like I was talking to McKay about drumming. He's like, I want to do biking. But to own a bike shop, like, all the time. A lot of barriers to bike shop. Nowadays, a lot of people buy their bike supplies online. Haven't we seen the last 10 years bike shop? Got to be a variety of services, right? It's tough. So I was brainstorming with them. I said, what could we do different in your industry that could give you a not giving away anything because he's going to, this is around, but I said, why don't you do mobile bike repair? And we came up with that talking together, mobile bike repair. I'm like, dude, I got 3 bikes in my garage. My biggest barrier to get my bikes fixed is I got to get a bike rack. I got to drive them down to the bike shop. I got to go there at the right time. I got to find time that works. And I'm going to be stuck in the bike shop for an hour explaining my problem. I said, dude, if you had a mobile bike repair, I'd call you right now. Come to my garage and fix my bikes. He's like, I could do that. Well, would you need as many tools as you have in this expensive bike shop and have to pay rent and all that? No. And he could offer a little minor discount compared to maybe a bike shop. And we were all over that. So anyway, we could talk more about it, right? But I'm just going to leave it alone. We got way too deep into drumming probably. But that's an option we found for him to give him a strategic advantage in the biking industry to make money tomorrow doing what he loves, and the barrier to entry was a lot less. And so, again, some of you may be finding another revenue source in your business. Okay, I'm going to bring up another important example here. Okay, this was I made some notes of what I wanted to cover tonight, and my number one was don't get overwhelmed. That was my number one. Let me tell you a couple thoughts on this. For those that are still thinking here, even of expanding into your own business or those that are brand new, these ideas can be overwhelming. I met with a kid last night that I was helping out in our neighborhood, and because we started brainstorming a business for him a few weeks ago, and I asked his parents, how's it going? He's like, dude, it was information overload, it's like, too much. And I said, that's a bummer. I didn't want to do that to him. And so I sat down with him last night and I said, I want you to just do 4 things. 4 things. And he was like, okay. He goes, and I said, I want you to give this a new idea, a new fresh look. Don't get overwhelmed. And I said, I want you to do 4 things. He said, okay. I said, number 1, I just want you to write down a list of the services you could provide or your products for some of you, and how much. How much would you charge? I go, that's it. That's all I want you to worry about. You're not opening a bank account. You're not forming a corporation. You're not, getting a merchant account, not starting a website. All I want you to do is make a list of what you can do. Mow lawns, how much would you charge? Then I actually asked how long it would take. What was the time involved? The next thing I told him to make was a list of your startup costs. I said, I just want a list of how much it's going to cost you to get started. Now, for some of you that already own a business, you know what I'm talking about. If you're going to open that new line of business, what do I need to invest in? How much labor is it going to cost me? What's it going to cost to develop that product? So how much is it going to cost? Now, if we think of McKay and his drumming business, he may, man, I got a drum set, I got drumsticks, I'm ready to go. I just need a better camera. I'm ready to start shooting on YouTube. I can start doing lessons. I may need to print some business cards, but he needs to write it down. What are my services I'm going to provide? How much? How much is it going to cost to get started? This is your startup cost. We actually do this in stage 2 of the book. But I said, what is that list? Number 3, I asked him, what's your timeline? I said, just make some goals. Do you need to start this right away? Can we develop it over time? What are some of the stress that that you might have of building this? And I want you to kind of come up with some time and some goals, and let's just set some parameters. Like, when are you going to make your first sale? When would that be? And then the final thing I gave him, which I thought was kind of fun, I said, I want you to come up with a business name. Make it fun. Just tell me your business name. He's like, really? Yeah. I want a business name. I want your first goal. Working backwards. I want a business name. I want your goals. And why are you doing this? Tell me the why. Sometimes we need to answer that. Why am I doing this? Some of you am I going to really start another line of business? Ugh. Why am I doing it? Do I need the money? Do I just love it? Am I doing it to give one of my brothers a job? What am I doing, right? And then finally the list. So this was 4 things. So what I want to challenge all of you to do is whether you're at home or here, is just you eat an elephant one bite at a time. Don't get overwhelmed. It was funny here at the Christ Center, I was talking to Megan about, she's working on a book. We were teasing her about starting to write a book. And she's like, I was talking podcast and book and write your chapters and all this. And she was like, oh my gosh, this is overload. I can't do it. And she went into paralysis. And that can happen when you're developing a business. Don't do it. Step back and just start taking a little bite at it. One step at a time. You don't have to get rich at this. It doesn't have to happen overnight. Any thoughts or comments on that? Anybody? This is easy, I hope. Okay, this is a big one. There's a video in here on this. Don't quit your day job. I wrote an article on that. It's been a big blog article. It's done pretty well. Okay, I got to ask you guys. You've been so quiet tonight. Why do I say don't quit your day job? Anybody? Sydney, who has a day job. Ooh, good comment. I got my daughter here with a comment. I didn't expect her to make a comment.
Just getting back into Provo and getting back into school.
So she lives in a town about 4 hours south of here, people, called Provo. Kind of a weird name, right? Okay, go ahead.
I think this one's funny because my dad was like strongly encouraging me. Like, he was just wanting me to get another day job, although I am working on like a real estate business. And he was so adamant on it. It kind of almost bothered me at one point. but it's because you need the money to fund the business. So that's at least, like, that's at least the situation for me. So
Got to
still
fund
important.
your daily expenses. Thanks, Sid. I didn't expect you to say that. So that was a lot of pressure. I said, she's really good at her day job. I'll leave that alone. But she has a good day job. And she's like, I want to quit my job and do real estate. I'm like, no. We got to pay the bills, and we don't want to stress it out. Now, some of you that are entrepreneurs, have you ever felt, this is deep. You want it deep. I get on phone calls with people. People try to live on their business before their business is ready for them. Think about that for a minute. You start a business, you can't wait to quit your day job, and I have clients do this all the time. They quit their day job and they jump into their business, and they got to pay the bills. And all of a sudden their business is like, I can't afford you right now. And they pressure the business, they cut corners to take money out of the business fails, and then they blame entrepreneurship. Yeah, my business sucks. I hate being an entrepreneur. I'm just going to go back to my day job. No, the business was great. You just quit your job too soon. You got to let your business sometimes percolate. It's got to be ready for you to live on it. I tell clients all the time, don't quit the day job, start the business. When it gets too expensive, maybe go part-time. Keep paying the bills. Sometimes we need benefits. Sometimes we need health care. Sometimes we need some of those things. So it's okay. And some people think it's all or nothing. If I'm going to be an entrepreneur, I got to quit my job. No. Just start the business on the side, let it grow, let it start making some money until it can afford for you to be there full time. And it doesn't mean you're a failure. It doesn't mean you have to be there right away making money off your business. It can happen over time. And I'm going to say this to, there's some people in the room, this means an important thing. And I'm going to give a story of this. I had two clients, hopefully they're not watching this tonight, they could be, but they're actually in Hawaii right now. They were in, I don't know, they live in Ohio, somewhere where it's really cold in the winter. And there was a client of mine in Hawaii, this is how I met him, and they came to Hawaii for a vacation. This happens in Hawaii a lot. I don't know if some of you know this. They come to Hawaii for a vacation, they stay 2 weeks, and they say, that's it, life's too short, I'm quitting my job, we're moving to Hawaii. You'd be shocked how many people do this. Like, they just freaking sell everything and move to Hawaii. And so I bump into them in Hawaii, and they're trying to get their business, and I'm setting up their LLC, their corp, and all that. And some of you may have some immediate questions. I want to take time for that tonight. We only got about 25 minutes left. So they come to see me, and they were expecting me to say, and she was a nurse. She was a nurse. She had like this killer job back in Ohio, quits her job. He quits his day job, and they moved to Hawaii. They got some savings, but it's going down quick. Hawaii is not cheap either, FYI. So they're going down, they're going down quick. The ship's starting to gain, water's coming over the bow, and they're like, okay, Mark, help us save our business. And they tell me all about their business and everything. I said, okay, number one recommendation, you're both getting jobs. Like, oh, you're an entrepreneur expert. You got to help us save our business. I am. You got to get a job and start getting some of that water out of the boat because your business isn't ready for you. And they were so mad. They were like, that's not what we want you to tell us, They're like, hold it. No, save our business. I'm going, I am. I'm giving your business life support by you getting a little income. And I said, go get your freaking license back as an RN in Hawaii. Go take the test, and you're going to go start working, and you're going to get some benefits. They were one bad healthcare situation away from being bankrupt. They had no benefits. And they're like, how do we get benefits in our small business? No, your business can't afford that right now. Go get a freaking job. And I said, I don't even care if you go work at Walmart. Because this guy had a great job in Ohio. He had no real skills that worked in Hawaii. And I go work at Home Depot. He's like, well, that's beneath me. It's not. It's a part of getting you where you want to be. Don't be embarrassed to go work at Home Depot. Make some income, build the business on the side, and then you can come back to it. And it was a really emotional meeting. They were in tears. I always get teary-eyed. Some of you already noticed I get teary-eyed. But anyway, the point is some of you here in this room, it's okay to have a day job, a part-time job, as you build your business. And that business will be ready for you when you're ready for it. And it's okay. Any thoughts or comments on that? Deep? Deep? Isn't that deep? It's deep. Okay, throw in the mic. I love Jason's comments too. He's always good.
There's a quote that I read that you support your business until your business can support you. And so that's
Hold on,
just-
I want you to repeat that. I like that. I
You
might put
support
that on
your
my
business.
newsletter. You support your business
Yeah.
until
You support
it
your
can-
business until your business can support you.
That's good.
So I just read a story of a gentleman that he had a full-time solar company, and he didn't start he started doing an e-com business part-time. He didn't work on it until after 6 o'clock in the evening. He had a family, so wife and kids, and about 12 to 18 months after he started it, he was able to sell his business for $5 million. He started out part-time. So again, you know, like you said, most entrepreneurs, that's how they start out. They have a job, they start their business part-time. They don't dive in head first right out of the gate. So just echoing what you said.
I love it. Thanks, Jason. It reminds me of another story. It was a big honor. I went out for Entrepreneur Magazine. Some of you know I write for them, and I'm at some of their events. And Entrepreneur Magazine flew me out to New York to be at one of their events. And Barbara Cochran, I can never say her last name. Anyway, she's on Shark Tank. You know, she's the New York realtor. She was the keynote. I was on before her. People said I rocked it better than her, but whatever. And so I talked to Barbara for a bit. Anyway, I thought I could take her on Shark Tank. Who cares? Anyway, so, we were at the little luncheon after, and we were at our little tables, and they had awarded the Entrepreneur of the Year, and they had like different categories, young, old, startup, blah, blah, blah. And the guy I was sitting next to had won Entrepreneur of the Year. And he had created, and some of you have seen these on your iPhones, the little camera that you clip on front, and it can expand. It's called, Dylan and Corey, they know I brought them home one. It comes in a little bag, and you put it on your camera, and you can do zoom in, zoom out, and it makes your iPhone camera even cooler. Villo something, I don't know. Anyway, he invented this thing. And I was sitting there with him, and it was like this small world, because I go, you got it patented? Yeah, and he got it patented in Orange County, and I knew the lawyer that had got his patent, and I texted him and said, hey, what's up? You know, and it was just a small world. And, but anyway, the point is, Jason, it was really funny. He was an engineer, and he loved photography. And he said, I'm going to create a product that I can sell, and I'm going to make money at that has to do with photography. And he always had his iPhone, and he always wanted to be able to zoom in more or zoom out more. And so as an engineer, he thought, I'm going to create a lens that you can just clip on any phone, and it makes your camera cooler. Anyway, you can get on Amazon and look for this stuff. Anyway, so he said, when we started producing it, I had my day job, and it was so hard because I was in my garage at night trying to fiddle with this, and we finally got it to work, and I got this one Apple store to order them from me. And he goes, the Apple company said, you're just going to fund one store. And they made an order of like 200 of these things, or 300. And he was like, 300? And he said, Mark, we had the whole family around the kitchen, on the kitchen counter, boxing them up and making them. And the whole family stayed up all night putting these together in boxes. And I remember delivering them to the Apple store, and they sold, and da-da-da. And I finally was able to hire some people and get a shop. But it was so funny that he did it around his kitchen counter. And it was like 5 years earlier. And now he was selling out to some Kodak, whatever, you know, company for $1 million or some crazy thing. But, you know, it can start on your kitchen counter, and it's okay, right? It's okay. Keep the day job. Okay, all right, I got one last point. My other one was baby steps, which I already made. Baby steps, people. Don't stress. McKay, baby steps. Work with me. We're going to make you money in drumming right away. Okay, my fourth point I wanted to hit, and then we're going to do some Q&A here for a minute, is don't stop learning. Guys, I hope every one of you that are here tonight, you're back here in 3 weeks, I think, whatever the date is. I probably should say it before we leave. Nancy, make sure you remind me. Guys, being an entrepreneur, you don't know what you don't know. You don't learn this in school. There's no school program that's excellent at this. Yeah, the colleges are now creating entrepreneur tracks and all that. I'm going to offend someone, but there's some good teachers in that program, but some of the teachers are teaching because you teach because you can't do whatever. I don't know, I'm going to offend someone, but you know, some of them are retired entrepreneurs that have extra money and they're like wanting to give back. Those teachers I love. Other ones I'm like, you've never even done this. You know, why are you teaching this anyway? But it's hard to go out and find education on this. So I hope you guys soak up my newsletter every week, my blogs, my podcast. This week's podcast that I'm recording tomorrow at noon is on trademarks. Should you trademark your business? I just had this is for Julie online. She's over in Hawaii. We talked 3 hours ago, and she's come up with this cool. Well, you're dialed it in, Julie. We talked about it. I hope you don't mind me sharing because her business is out there now. She probably might even appreciate this plug. Her business, I want to make sure I say it right because we were talking about awhitebutterfly.com. And sorry, I get a ting of emotion because she was telling me on the phone, man, I got to watch this. Why she named it that. So she sells clothes. Let me describe that or I'll get too emotional. So she sells clothes. And she started out with LuLaRoe. Ladies, anybody know LuLaRoe? I look at the ladies in here, right? LuLaRoe, kind of a cool business idea. Buy clothes, sell them online, yada, yada. I've got even an employee, Chantel, in my office, sells LuLaRoe. But she hasn't loved LuLaRoe because you can't get all the clothes you want. And she's like, all the cool ones go too fast, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so she's going off on her own. Her website, see, I'm giving you a plug, Julie, is called awhitebutterfly.com. Anyway, so she was like talking about trademark. Should I trademark it? Many of you, sometimes that's a big question. Should I trademark my business or not? Anyway, so she named her company because in her culture, a white butterfly is the spirit of someone that passed away. When you see a white butterfly, they had a family member that died, and she named it because of this family member. She was telling me all about it. But anyway, so that's what a white butterfly means. So she named it awhitebutterfly.com. And I said, and she goes, is that a dumb name? I go, no, you want to own the name. You want to be passionate about it. Why did I name my company? I go, it's a great topic start, you know, whatever you call it. You know, starter for a conversation. What do you call it? Conversation starter. Thanks, Jude. Thanks. So anyway, it was just great. And so I want you guys to own the name. Be excited about it. And you might have to trademark it. And how much does it cost to trademark? And should I trademark? Am I going to go nationally with this? Am I going to create the website? A lot of people ask, and so here's a tip, is when you form your entity and you come up with your business name, and some of you may want to talk about this for a minute, so we'll do Q&A for 15, 20 minutes here if you want. We'll wrap it up early if you want. Is when you create your company, and we can talk about LLC and S Corp for a minute if you want. I want you to name your company a name that has a URL basis, because you might have to have a website with this. So I want you searching on GoDaddy. I have many times I'm on the phone with a client. Julie and I did it today. We went on GoDaddy at the same time I'm on Hawaii website. And we're making sure that the business name is available and the URL is available. And we may even get on PTO, which is the Patent and Trademark Office in DC, and do a quick PTO search. Because if you're going to go big, you want to have that name locked down. And so, anyway, that's what we're talking about on the radio show tomorrow. So what I was just saying is I've got a free podcast every week. It's on iTunes called Refresh Your Wealth. I hope all of you follow. And my point I'm trying to get back at is just this concept of naming my business. What's my address? Am I doing mail forwarding? Do I need privacy? Am I going to have a URL? Do I need a trademark? Big topic, right? We can beat it up more if you want tonight. So that's what we're covering tomorrow on the podcast. And so find some good podcasts, some good radio shows, some good newsletters. Get a good book. I mean, you brought up Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Great book. Good to Great. I've got a little reading list on my website of books I've had all my kids read, you know, Richest Man in Babylon. What were you listening to the other day? Oh, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Great book. If you haven't read that one, you got to. So you should have a list of 10 to 15 good business books that it's going to help you in the process. Lawyers Are Liars. Lawyers Are Liars. She brings that up, of course. Thank you so much. Vicki Rammel, appreciate that. Lawyers Are Liars is a great book written by a lawyer who was calling out all those scam artists out there. It's my first book. I hate the title of the book, but it's packed with content. Whole chapter on the father of asset protection, O.J. Simpson. And it's really good. There's a whole chapter, Be Like O.J. It's good. So back in the day, Noah, you remember that book. Back in the day. Man, we met like 10 years ago. Man, when that book just came out. Okay, so anyway, I've got 10 minutes here or so. There was a couple of questions that someone emailed me in advance. I don't know if there's any online, but anything is open. For those of you that are in a business right now, and you're like, Mark, step one was a little touchy-feely. I came here for something a little meatier. I'm here for you. It's what I do all day long. I'm seeing, there was another question online about starting my accounting. Should I start accounting right now? Do I need to go get QuickBooks? So let's just hit that for a second. Is that okay? So this might get some of your juices flowing. I'm here for you. I was telling a client on the phone today, start out just tracking your expenses. If you're in startup mode, I asked McKay if I could pick on him right when he walked in. If he's starting his drumming business, I'm going to get a write-off for his drum set. That's now a write-off. He's getting a tax write-off for his drum set. How cool is that, right? If he goes down to the music store and buys anything, I'm writing it off. You know, I'm writing off his cell phone. I'm writing off his internet. We're going to write off all of his subscriptions to all sorts of things. Anything he buys at Apple Store and Best Buy. He's got to have a home office, home studio. We're going to write off a portion of the house. You could pay rent to your dad. How cool would that? You need rent, right? That's yes. Dad already likes that idea. So now you're paying rent for your studio space in the house. That's a good idea. Okay, so anyway, people, keep track of your expenses, at least in Excel. You don't have to go out and get QuickBooks. For those of you that are a little further along in your business, the next stage up is online QuickBooks. I love online QuickBooks. I go to a QuickBooks training program. You can start using QuickBooks to track your expenses and then graduate into a desktop version like Desktop Pro. So with accounting, don't stress out about it. Just keep your expenses as best you can. Deductor, I haven't, that's true. See, look at Nancy. I have my own Mark Kohler app, sponsored by Deductor. It's pretty sweet. My face is on it, so every time you go to your app, you see me. It's really cool. But that's to track your mileage, so you have GPS tracking of your business miles. It coordinates with QuickBooks, so you can track your expenses online. Any other questions? Come on. Presley, I know you've got a question for me. Work it. Come on. Oh, Deductor. If you go to on my weekly newsletter, there's a little app in the corner called the Deductor to track your expenses and your mileage. You can click on it. It's half off what you'd pay on their normal app on App Store. So don't pay for it on App Store. Dylan. Okay, hold it. You got to ask it with the mic. Yes, this is Diet Mountain Dew, not regular Mountain Dew. As some people drink the hard stuff, I go diet. Okay.
Okay, so when it comes to finances, what's the best way to pay for business items? Is it better to have a checking account, a credit card? Is it better to set up your business with like an LLC and have a company card? Or do you get better write-offs via like through checks and stuff like that?
Okay, this is good. Okay, let's just graduate through this real quick. For those that are in big-time business and just starting out, I'm going to take you through it. All of you out here are at least in startup mode. All of you at least are here as a sole proprietor. If you want to start a business, the minute you say, I'm going to start a business, you're out there. Symphony, you're in startup mode. You're out thinking, tonight your mileage over here is a write-off. You're already thinking of a business, right? You're in startup mode. Your cell phone is now a write-off because, Mark, hey, I got my business idea. That's a write-off because you're calling your business. So all of you are at least in startup mode. Track your expenses. You don't have to have a separate bank account to do that. So we're in startup mode. At some point, you're going to graduate into maybe staying a sole proprietor and doing just called a DBA. McKay Drumming Unlimited. McKay, I'll help you rock. I'll rock your world drumming. I'll rock like a superstar drumming. Ooh, I like that one. So you can just play with this. You come up with something cool. That's called a DBA. So you're going to name your business, and Dylan, we're going to open a bank account. We're just going to start a bank account. Because McKay, when he goes out to do his drumming lessons, he's going to want to swipe someone's card. He's going to need a merchant account. He's going to get a Square. If you've been over to buy a sandwich over here at Great Harvest, they swipe your card on an Apple Reader. It's a square. All of you can have a square tomorrow. You're going to swipe a card. So when he takes a lesson online or in person, he's going to swipe the card. The money's going to go right into his bank account. Boom, he's in business. Did he need an LLC? No. Did he need a corporation? No. He's taking money right now. You could do it tomorrow. Find someone. We didn't even talk about how to market him, but Craigslist is going to be huge. You're going to go on Craigslist and say, drumming lessons right here. Call me. Boom. I'll come to your house. You got a drum set? I'll do, we didn't even talk about drum lessons at your home. Oh my gosh, that's even better. Okay, oh my gosh. Okay, now at some point, you're going to form an entity, which is going to be an LLC or a corporation. Depending on your income level, I might go straight to S Corp, or I'm going to start out as an LLC and convert it to an S Corp. That'll come down the road. So you form your entity. Once you form an entity, you get an official EIN, which is called a tax ID number with the IRS. Your name is now reserved at the state. You might even get a URL on GoDaddy. So McKay at some point is going to jump from working out of his trunk, and he's going to say, I'm going to set up a formal entity. I'm going to get an EIN. I'm going to get a bank account. I'm going to get an official merchant account. And you can go there, and that's when banking starts to take off. Because now you've got a business bank account. So Dylan, you can start out in kind of tracking your expenses. You're going to kind of maybe test the waters with your product. But as soon as you know your business is legit, we're going to form an entity, get a tax ID number, open up a bank account. I can have anybody in this room, an LLC, in the next 3 days. You're opening up your business account, you're getting an EIN, you're getting a merchant account, you're swiping cards. That would also be your shopping cart on your website. So if you're going to have a URL, you're going to set up a shopping cart. If you go to GoDaddy, they want to sell you all this. I just told Cindy this morning, you're just getting the basic service with an email. They're going to upsell you a merchant account and everything. They'll want to do that. Data, everything. So you want to kind of be careful, can piece and part it. We can guide you through that. This is what Devin does on the phone all day long. Then you're going to get into more serious accounting. And then Vicki, we were talking about this the other day, the credit card. So we were working on this. She's got a more mature business. They're making money. They're paying the bills. They're past all this. Now they're going, hey, should I be tracking my miles and getting bonus, cash back? Should I go with a cash back Capital One? Should I do a full-on American Express Silver, Platinum? That's where I want to be. Or am I going to go Delta? Am I going to do a Southwest card? I've had radio shows just on managing your points in your business because you can cash in those points. Point redemption is tax-free. So when you buy something for your business, you get a write-off. You redeem the points, you don't pay taxes on that. So you just cashed in some points. Boom. Taking a trip. So business points are a big deal. Now, here's I'm going to give a quick spin. Oh, see, I just can't shut up. Does anybody have another question? You got to raise your hand. Okay, I have 2 more? Okay. Watch my thing on points and credit cards. Should a business owner have a credit card out of the gate? I usually say no. I want a mature business owner because credit cards can be dangerous. Okay. Presley first. Oh, in the back. Go ahead.
So I have a quick question for somebody I know personally out in Texas. She's a hairdresser.
Okay, hairdresser.
And has been working under the table for quite a long time.
Okay.
And she wants to go legit. She wants to set up an LLC and everything that she needs to do and then get right with the IRS. Where's the first step for her? She's very well known, word of mouth so far, but where does she start?
Okay, I'm going to take one step back. Thank you, Corey. Great question. So we have a hairdresser getting paid cash, not claiming all of the income. This happens all the time in businesses. And it can be scary because you're kind of in this black market of living off the grid, and you're like, how do I get legit? Now, why do you think she's trying to get legit? Why do people call me up and go, Mark, I've been running my restaurant, cash under the table, photography, whatever, kind of these service businesses where you can make 20 grand a year just in cash, and they don't claim it. Why do you think they want to get legit? What do they want to get? They want to buy something, kind of the big first lifetime purchase, and they can't qualify. They want to buy a house. That's a lot of times why people are calling me. Mark, I can't get a loan. Why can't you get a loan? You make good money. I don't claim it all. Got any tax returns? Yeah, they're all zeros. Okay, we have a problem. And they want to buy a house. And so they can't get credit. Their credit score sucks because they've been living this wonderful life, mooching off of you and me as taxpayers. Kind of pisses me off too, right? They're like, I'm not going to pay taxes, so I'm just going to live on cash. So now they got to pay the piper. So that's why it happens, and it happens a lot. And so what I tell people is, open a bank account, start depositing the money, and let's start claiming some income. Some of you, I have clients that claim more income than they want to, and I'm not trying to help them commit tax fraud. I want everybody to claim all the money they're making. But they may not even take some of the write-offs because they want to show more income on a tax return so they can qualify for a loan and get their credit dialed in, and then file their tax returns and come out of the dark, and that's okay. So the first thing I do is say, open a bank account, start depositing all of your revenue. Let's file last year's tax return. See, last year's tax return is due in the next 4 weeks for 2017. I'm still extended. Anybody else not filed yet? Woo, I love it. Your chances of an audit go down big time. You know what I'm saying. You've heard me, yeah. So it's okay. When they filed the 2018's tax return, that's when things are they're gonna start paying some taxes maybe, and they're gonna look legit, get a bank loan, get their home, open a bank account, start filing their first return, talk to me, let's figure out the best way to do it. You're not gonna have the IRS down your keister or up your keister. Down the keister, that'd be bad. You're not gonna have the IRS causing problems for you by getting legit. They want your money, so just get out of the dark. It's all cool. Dylan, sorry, Preston's got the mic, or, yeah? I'll repeat this for everybody. He said, can you claim your income as a sole prop, or do I have to have an LLC? Yeah, you should claim your income. It's called a Schedule C. So on your 1040, there's going to be an extra little form called a Schedule C, and the Schedule C is where you're going to claim your income, and you're going to have your income and expenses and your net, and that's what you're going to claim on your tax return. And then the banks are going to love you. Bankers are crazy. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus, and bankers are from Saturn. They drive me nuts. If you're a business owner, you know what I'm saying. You hate bankers. No offense to my bankers in the room. Anyway, okay, we're almost done in 5 minutes. We've got a couple more questions. Presley.
With you kind of about this, but why do LLC and then S Corp? Why not just jump to S Corp?
Okay, this is cool. All right, see, we're gonna throw down the hammer, people. We can get deep. This is all topics we're gonna cover in our workbook and videos. There's 48 videos in here, and one of them she just asked about, why do I do an S Corp? It's a video in section 6 or 7. So you're gonna love it. You can go straight to it tonight, but let me summarize this. People, when you start out as a sole proprietor and you start making money, say I'm a hairdresser. I just got a text before I came downstairs from Ray. There's a big law passed in California this week. Big deal. For some of you that may not know this, it was actually a court case by the California Supreme Court that hairdressers are now employees of the hair salon. They are no longer subcontractors. The whole industry in California has been turned upside down. Everybody's freaking out. She's closing one of her shops. All of her barbers walked out. I mean, it's bad. So she texted me before in tears, right before we came down. She was closing her Newport Beach, Laguna Beach location and just focusing on San Clemente. Anyway, but this is a big deal because sole proprietors, their income comes in, and I don't know how I got twisted on that, sorry, but a hairdresser is a sole proprietor, and their income is subject to self-employment tax. Now, if I go to an LLC, does an LLC save me taxes? People? I'll call out some of you. Jason, does an LLC save taxes? Oh, he's shaking his head. Ooh, this is nervous. This is good. Does an LLC save taxes? The answer is no. Do I have to have an LLC to write off my hair salon? No, I got expenses. I'm in business. So what does an LLC do? Why do I form an LLC? Limited liability company. It's a protection, this warm blanket. I can write off my drum set whether I'm a sole prop or an LLC, but I want protection because if one of those drumsticks goes flying out in a concert and hits some girl in the eyeball and she comes in and files a lawsuit, you know, that could be a big deal. But no, my LLC protects me because, hey, I'm just a drummer. You accepted the risk when you came to the concert, so buck up. So his LLC protects him. He's good. McKay is protected. Pa-ching! Pa-ching! His LLC has protected him from flying drumsticks. Okay, But an S Corp is a whole other animal. Why would I do an S Corp or take my LLC and tax it as an S Corp? It's taxes. S Corps save taxes. LLCs don't. So when all that hair salon money comes in, I pay self-employment tax on all the money. So if I'm selling blankets online, as Presley knows, disclosing one of her businesses, we should give you a plug here. We should. You'll be back. She sells these cute little blankets online. So self-employment tax is going to kill you. So whether I'm selling blankets, drumming, or hair salons, self-employment tax is bad. But when you funnel it through an S Corp, I can take part salary, and the rest escapes with no self-employment tax, no Obamacare. I get the 20% Trump deduction. Okay, I'm not anti-Obama or anti-Trump, I'm just saying. Okay, so we get the new 20% deduction, no Obamacare, no self-employment tax. The S Corp this year works masterfully into the Mark Kohler plan of saving taxes. It's like the GOP and Donald Trump got together and said, let's make Mark Kohler's tax plan he's been given even better. So that's what happened. So you're going to love this. So the S Corp is what we graduate into, Presley. So as you start making more money, a hair salon is going to be an S Corp. Ray in California is an S Corp. A brand new little hairstylist down here making 10, 15 grand a year, sole prop. Maybe an LLC because they're worried about someone slipping on some water in front of their chair. But LLCs just give us protection, people. As you make more money and you have a tire store, mechanic shop, S Corp, right? You've been an S Corp for years. Killing it. S Corp. Jody, S Corp? See? How many S Corps in their house? How many S Corps? 3 or 4? Call out a few. So an S Corp is what we graduate into, and an LLC with one simple form can become an S Corp. It's a 2553. We charge 120 bucks. Done. So you can graduate there, and that's where our businesses are going to go. Nancy, 1 minute left.
So if I want to buy a blanket for my LLC, and if I go to littlegrainmarket.com,
Look at that, man.
get one from there, right?
Yes, we should give her a plug here. One of our, what's the website? Little Lane. Help me spell LITTLELANE. LittleLaneMarket.com. These are the cutest little blankets. What do you sell these blankets for? Is it like babies? It's all babies. So LittleLaneMarket.com, baby blankets. Crib sheets, quilts. I love it. How many blankets did you sell last year? Mom's in on it? 100? 200? 1,000? Thousands? 2,500? 3,000? So you sell about 7,000 blankets a year online. Woo! Love it. 7,000 blankets. Now there's an entrepreneur in the house. Love it. And we actually have a meeting this week to talk S Corp. So that's why you're asking. I like it. We're going to see, we're just come together. Okay, we are here exactly on the dot. I said 7 o'clock we'd finish. That was scary. October 2nd is our next meeting. We're going to do step 2. We're going to do break-even analysis. We're going to run numbers. We're going to find out if your product or service is going to make money. We're going to talk about ways to raise money for your business, crowdfunding, raising cash, going to the bank, whatever. It's going to be our money section. It's a hard one. Step 2 is so hard to teach, but I love it because you find out if your business is really going to make money. So October 2nd, we'll be right back here at 5:30 p.m. Mountain, live on YouTube or here in person. I hope all of you come back. Make sure you work through your workbook as fast as you want. And all of you will have online access, if you don't already, to download your workbook, download your business plans, and you're off to the races. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Thank you. Woo! Woo! Thanks. You guys are so nice. Thank you for the studio.